Hey, hi all. Uh, Again, welcome back to this channel. So today we are going to discuss some of the questions which is related to the SQL, which is asked in interviews. Okay, so we will see some 9, 10 questions related to the SQL. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, I will just share my screen and show you the question how we can solve these SQL questions. Okay, so here we are using the two tables in this uh, particular that means the questions which we are doing. In that we will use the two tables. The first is the employee table and the second is the employee detail table. Right. Now for first we will see how to create the table. Now to create any table, first we are creating a database. So I had already created one database whose name is India. Okay, and you have to use that database. Now after creating the database, what we have done is we created these two tables in that database, right? Now here I already created this table, right, which is employee table. Now first you will see in the database there will be an India. This is India database, right? And in this there are two tables. The first the tables are expanding. Yes, there are employee and employee details table. Now what I can do, uh, I have now I have already created this table, right? Now to show you, first of all, I will drop this two table and also, right, we have to drop the employee details. So first I just drop this table. Cannot drop the table because it does not exist, right? Now why it is not dropping? Because we not uh, still tell, right, which database we are using. So first we have to use this database, use India database, and then now we are dropping the table employee. Yes, and then we have to also drop the employee details table. Okay, we drop these two tables successfully. Now how to create the table? Now to create table, this particular syntax we will use. So we will give the table name. So our table name is employee, which has total 5 columns: employee ID, employee name, gender, salary, and city. In every single column which we are creating in that table, we have to specify the data type. So for employee ID, we have specify integer, and I want all the values are not null in the employee ID. So hence I have specified that it is not null. Similarly, employee name, it is a varchar, that means it is a string value. Gender is also char, a salary, city, like this. Okay. Now, when you are doing the varchar, you need to specify this, right? That means how much maximum elements will be there in that particular string that you need to specify. So yes, so we will create this table first, right? Create the table is created successfully. Now again we will create the second table, which is employee table. So first of all, now we will see, right, how this table looks. To see that, there is command that is select star from the employee. That means what? Select all the columns from that table. So first of all, we will see how it will look. Yeah, so there are, this is the table, right? These are the four uh columns. Sorry, yeah, these are the four columns which we can see, and there is no any values still there, right, in the table. So first we will insert the values in the table. So this is the particular command we are using to insert the values. So insert into employee, that means in which table? So insert into employee and values, which are this, right? These are the employee ID, names, right? Gender, salary, and the city. So this we will insert first. Okay. So this is how the values are inserted. Now first again we will see how our employee table look like. Now the all the values are present there. Why? Because we have inserted that value. Now we'll create the second table, which is employee detail, right? Which has the employee ID, project, right? Employee position and date of joining. So yes, again we will insert the values in that, because if you see the table, there are no any values, right? We are, because we have not inserted any value in this table. So first of all, we will insert the values then, right? We have inserted the value, and now if we see this table, then all the values are present in this table, right? So this is how we can create the two table and insert the values in the table. Now our two tables are ready. Now we will see what are the questions has been asked with respect to these two tables. Okay. So the first question is, find the list of the employee whose salary ranges between the 2 lakh to 3 lakh. Okay. Now the question difficulty will get increased as we take the questions, right? Second, third, right? Like this. So the first question is third question, second, third will little bit easy question. Now, yes, we have to find the list of the employees whose salary ranges between the 2 lakh to 3 lakh, right? So how we can find out that? So, so first we will see, right, how our table look like. So our, now we have to find this with respect to the employees, right? So we need employee table. So select star from the employee. Okay. Now you can directly execute from here, or to execute, you can, there is for MS SQL Server, there is again one shortcut key, which is Control E, right? That you can also use. Right. So this is my table. So I just want the list of the employees whose salary is between 2 lakh to 3 lakh. In the, if you can see in this salary, there is only one salary which is between 2 lakh to 3 lakh, right? Now to get that, what I can use? So here we can use a where clause. So where I can say salary between, salary between 2 lakh to 2 lakh and 3 lakh, 2 lakh and 3 lakh. So if I execute this command, okay, then it will give me the salary which is, that means select star. Now star means what? I want all the column where the salary of that employee will be between 2 lakh to 3 lakh. So when I execute this, then here you can see it will give me all the data which is between, whose salary is between 2 lakh to 3 lakh. Okay, it will give all the columns. But suppose I just want employee ID, employee name, and gender, and I, okay, or I can say I just want employee name and salary. Then here instead of star, you can mention that column. I want employee name and what salary, and you just execute this. Then you will get, yes, there is only employee name and salary, which is between 2 lakh to 3 lakh, like this, right? So this is the one way how we can do this. The another way is not using the between. So select star from employee, where salary, I can say what? Salary. Now salary is what? It is between 2 lakh to 3 lakh. That means what? The salary will be greater than 2 lakh and was little less than 3 lakh. So here I can do that. The salary is greater than 2 lakh. Okay, salary is greater than 2 lakh, and what? Salary is less than 3 lakh. Okay, salary is less than 3 lakh. So this will also give me the same output. That means it will give me the salary which is between 2 lakh to 3 lakh. So let execute this. Yes, it will again give me the salary which is between the 2 lakh to 3 lakh. Okay. Now the next question, write a query to retrieve the list of the employees from the same city. Okay, we have to retrieve the employees which is from the same city. So how we can execute this? Now for that, what we can do, we can uh, do one thing. We will try to execute this by using the, considering the same table again. Okay, by returning the same table again and then comparing the city within the these two tables. Okay, so how we can do that? So I can say select star from employee. I consider employee one. Okay, the first table, the same table I am considering employee E2. Okay, employee E2 like this. Now I want what? I want the employees from the same city. So I can say that where this right city from this table will be equal to city from this table. Right. So I can say that E1 dot ct E1 dot ct equals to E2 dot ct. Okay, and then I execute this. Now this will give me everything right from the two tables where the city are same. Okay, now here you can see the city are same, but here you can say that the employee name is also same, right? Because that means it is giving the for the same employee. I don't want the employee name same. Also, it is showing two tables, E1 also and E2, E2 also. So I just want this information from the first table itself. So you can simply say that E1. Okay, E1, E1 dot star. Okay, or star dot E1. We can also say star dot E1 like this. Okay, but first of all, what we will do, we will see that means city are the same, right? The cities are same, but I don't want the employee name are same. Okay, so I will give the condition that where also that the thing I don't want the employee name as say E1 dot employee name are not equals to E2 dot employee name. Okay, or we can also say that the employee ID are not same. The meaning is same. Okay, instead of employee name, we can also take the employee ID. Okay, now it is giving me the two things that yes, there are the two employees, right, which are from the same city, which are Lalitha and Vishaka, right? Now it is showing what? It is showing the two tables, E1 and E2. I don't want the E2, right? I only want E1. So I will say E1 dot star like this. Okay, and this will give me the information of the two names which are basically from the same city. We can say that these are from the same city, which is from the Mathura. Okay, so this is how we can solve this question. Now the third is query to find the null values in the employee table. Okay, now how to find the null values from the table? So first we will see the table. We already know, right? There are no any null value from the in our table. Why? Because there are only 5 rows, right? In the 5 rows, we can easily say that yes, there are no null values. Okay. But if there is a big table which has a multiple rows, then it is little bit hard to find out the null values in the table. So how we can find out? So here we can say there are the one unique column is there which is employee ID. Okay. If in the unique column if there is any null value present, then we can say that there are null values in the employee table, right? Otherwise there are no any null values in the table. Okay, so hence what we'll see, we will try to find out if there is any null values in the employee ID or not. Okay, so we will say employee, select star from the employee where employee ID is null. Yes, so that means there are no any uh, null values present in this table, right? If there are any null values, then it will appear in this employee ID, or it will just give the all the columns with respect to that employee ID, but there are no any column, there are no any rows, right? Or employee ID which has the null values, hence it is not showing anything. Okay. Now, this is little more tricky now. We have to find the cumulative sum of the employee salary. Okay, now what is the mean by the cumulative sum? Okay, so first of all, we will select the table. Okay, now I have to find the cumulative sum of the employee salary. Now these are the employee salary. I want the one more table inside this table that will give me the cumulative sum. So cumulative sum means what? It is the addition of the salaries. Okay, so the first cumulative sum of this salary table will be 75,000 itself. Now the second cumulative sum will be the second salary plus previous salary. Okay, so it will become 2 lakh, right? 75 plus 125, 2 lakh. Now third will be this these first two salaries plus third salary. Okay, so this 2 lakh plus 1 lakh 50,000. It will become 2 lakh 50,000. Similarly, it will add the next salary into it. So my fourth community sum will become 5 lakh, and the last will be 5 lakh plus 1 lakh 20,000. So that will become 7 lakh 20,000. So this is how the cumulative sum will appear, right? Now, how can I find out? So for that, we are using one function which is called as the window function. Okay, there is one advanced SQL function in the SQL which is called as window function, right? So here, what we will do? So I want basically all the columns, or I can mention some column. I want employee ID, employee name, gender. But I want salary to the last column, right? Hence, I will specify city, state, city, and then salary. Okay. And after salary, I want sum of the salary, right? But this sum I want, how this want? I just want this with respect to the employee ID. Okay. So here I will use the that window function, that is over. Okay. Over what? I want this sum which is ordered by employee ID. So that means it will firstly add the sum of the first employee, then it will add the sum of the first two employee IDs. Okay, then it will do the sum of the first three employee IDs, first four employee IDs, and first five employee IDs, like this. So what I can do, I will say order by what? Employee ID. I want some of the salaries employed by the order by the employee ID. And I will give this name as a cumulative sum. Okay, or cum sum. That means cumulative sum. Okay. And yeah, this will give me now, yes, which from which table I want this. So I want from the employee tables, right, this is the employee table. So this is the simple function we can use for the community sum. Okay, so let's execute this. Yeah, so here I got the community sum, right? The first is the 75,000, the second is the addition of these two, 125 plus 75 is 2 lakh. 2 lakh plus 150,000 is 3 lakh 50,000, plus 2 lakh 50,000 will become 6 lakh, and 6 lakh plus 1 lakh 20,000 will become 7 lakh 20,000, right? So this is how we can find out the community sum of the employee salary. Okay. Now the next question, what is the, okay, what happened here? Yeah. What is the male and female employee ratio? Okay, we have to find the employee ratio. Now, how we can find out the employee ratio, right? So we can see that how many male are there. We can see that there are three males, right? Three young are there. And also, how many females are there? There are two females, right? From the five, right? From the five employees. So what is the ratio then, right? So the how we can find out the ratio first, right? So the ratio is nothing but it is the count of the gender divided multiply by 100 divided by the count of the all the rows, right? So what is the count of the gender, count of the male then? So the count of the male are 3. Okay, count of the male is 3. Multiply by 100, right? Divided by count of whole, right? Whole gender. So that is divided by 5. Okay, so it will become 3 into 100 divided by 5. Okay, so that will become 300 divided by 5. Okay, and which will become what? It is a 60. So that means there are 60 percentage males are here and 40 percentage females are here. Okay, so same here we have to calculate this. Now here in this MS SQL server, we can use one function that is case. Okay, for doing this kind of the solving this type of the question. Okay, so let's try that one. Yeah, so select. Now I just want ratio, right? I don't want anything rather than that. So first of all, what I will do, I want count, right? Count of what? So our count of case when. Now here we are using the case when function, right? But in other any database management studio, that means any other software which we are using rather than the MS SQL server in MySQL or any post-Azure SQL server. In that there are different uh, formulas there. Instead of case when, we can use filter function there. Okay, but here we are using the case when we have to define, we have to, yes, we have to do the filter, or we have to uh, do any filtering, right? Filtering, or we have to specify the condition. In that case we are using the case when function here. Okay, so yeah, case when gender is what? Male. Then I will say 1. Okay, that means when the gender is male, then consider 1. I will say end. Okay, I don't want anything rather than this. I want to multiply this particular thing by 100. Okay, this count by 100 and divided by a 1 count of star. Okay, count of star. And I will give this name as male ratio. Okay, this will be my male ratio. Now, similarly, I want female ratio, right? It will be count of case when gender is female. Then 1 in star 100. Okay, multiply it by 100 and divide it by whole count, right? Count of as female ratio, right? This will be my female ratio. And from I want this all from the employee table. Okay, so let's see how it will give me the output. Yes, so this will give me the ratio. That means the male ratio is 60 and the female ratio is 40. Okay, I hope you understand this question. Okay, now let's see the third part of the second question. Write a query to fetch a 50% recorded from the employees. Okay, now how I will get the 50 percentage of the employee? Okay. Now to get the 50 percentage of the employees, what I will do? I will see first what is the count of the data, right? That means how many rows are there. Now 50 percentage means what? The whole count divided by 2. That means the half of the count will be 50 percentage of the data, right? Okay, so that means this is the 5. So the count of star divided by 5. So it will give me the number, right? Which is actually 50 percentage of the data. How many rows are there? Which is 50 percentage of the data. Now I want all that data which are, right, which is 50 percentage, right? That means which is half of the whole table. Now for that, what we can do, I will say where my employee ID, right? Now here employee ID in the form of the integer, right? So here I can specify this condition that where I will say select star from the employee where this employee ID is less than equals to that number, that half count. So it will give me all the rows which are basically which is the half of the count of the all the rows. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this. So I want all the employees from the table, right? Where I can say where my employee ID is less than or equals to count of star. Count of star means what? Now count of star it will not give me, right? The count of star it will not work. It will not work here. So I want what? Select count of star from the table. Means what? How many rows are there that I want to find. So select count of star from employee. Okay, so this will basically the count of the right count of the rows. Okay, and divided by two. Right, divided by two. Yes, so there are the two rows which are basically less than equals to this. But what if, right? Now this is how here the things were simple that the employee ID in the form of the integer. But what if this employee ID are not integers, or it is like there are some string variable are there? Then how we can find out that? So here we what we can do here we use one concept that is called as the row number. We will give row number for every single row, and on the basis of that we can find out this. Okay, how we can do that? That also we will do. Say select star row number. Okay, this is also one window function over, and I want this row number on the basis of the employee ID as row number from employee table. Okay, I will give this as a, let's consider this is one my common table expression. Okay, now I want to fetch select star from CT. I will not consider the star because I don't want row number in the table, right? So I will say select employee ID, employee name, gender, salary, and city, right? From city, and I will say where my row number, I want this row number is less than equals to select count of star from city. Or we can also say employee, right? Select count of star from the employee divided by 2. Divided by 2. And then this will give me the employees, right? Which are basically 50% employee of the city. Okay. Now let's see next question. Query to fetch the employee salary, but replace the last two digit with XX. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be 1, 2, 3, XX. Okay. Great. Right. So first we will select the table again. Right. So I want the employee salary, but what I want to do, I don't want the last two digit of the salary. Instead of that last two digit, I want the letter XX instead of that last digit. So how we can do that, right? So first of all, instead of selecting all the columns, I will first select the two columns, I will take the salary. Okay. Or we will say I want employee ID, employee name, and salary. Okay. And now we have to do the operation on the salary, right? So how we can get this uh, last two digits like x6 like this? Okay. So here we can use one function that is called as the substring. Okay, substring. Now, first of all, to take the x6 in the last two digits, we have to remove the last two numbers, right? So here we can use substring. Substring of what? Salary, right? But remember that this salary is in which data type? In the integer data type. But we can use the substring function for only the varchar data type or for the string data type. Hence, we will first try to change this data type of the salary column. Okay, so we'll say change. Okay, change, sorry, not change, cast for changing the data type. Cast salary as what I want in the form of the varchar. Okay, salary as a varchar. Okay, now I want the salary from the first digit to the third last digit, right? I want to remove the two things. That means the two last two digits. I want from the first digit to what I will say length, right? That is length of salary. Salary minus two, right? Minus two. So this will give me what? Again, I think it is not completed. It will give me the salary which is from the last three digits, right? Which is which is ignoring the last two digits, right? So that means this 750, right? 75,000. So it will give me 750. Here it is 1,25,000. So it will give me 1,250, right? 1,500, 2,500, 1,200 like this. Okay. And also I at the last, what I want the capital X6. So here I will use one function that is concat. Okay, I want concat this thing with what? With capital X6. With a capital X6. Okay, and I will give this as a new name as a new salary. Okay, new salary. So let's try to execute this. What it will give. Yes, so this is how we get the things. Lane of the cost of the salary minus 2 we have did, right? Then why it is not giving? Yeah, in the lane itself we have did the minus 2, right? So that is not correct. First we have to take this length and then we have to do the minus 2. Okay, we have to subtract the 2, right? Two letters from the lane. So that means what it will do? It will cast the substring, right? So what substring function will do? First we will consider the of which column we have to apply the substring. So it will consider the salary column. It will run from 1 to what? 1 to length minus 2. So now what is the length of this? It is 5 minus 2, which is 3. So it will take 750. Okay. And now let's try to run this again. Then here we got the answer. Okay. So that is 750 into x6. 1250 into x6, right? 1500 into x6, 2500 into x6, and 1200 into x6 like this. Okay, so this is how can we can solve the third question. Okay, let's move to the fourth question. Write a query to fetch even and odd rows from the employee table. Now this is again very simple. a question. So what you can do, select star from employee, where now I already know that they already employee ID are in the form of the integers, right? So what we can do, where employee ID %2 equals to 0, right? So that means the number which are divisible by 2, that will be my even numbers, right? They execute, right? So these are the two even rows. And if I want odd rows, so I will simply say it is not equals to 0. Execute, right? So these are my odd rows. Okay. Now again, if the employee ID are not given like this, if it is in the form of the string, then in that case we can use the row number. Okay. And we already know that, right? How we can use that. So I will again do for you. So how we can use the select row number? Yes, star row number, right? By over order by employee ID as row number from employee table, and where what I can say, row, right, number percent 2, right, which is equals to 0. Like this you can do that, and then run this. Okay, we have to use city here. Then we can say that the select star from employee, right, where row number %2, right, not equals to 0. The row number is there. Okay, we have to do it from city, right? And then this will work, right? Here you can see the row number are the odd numbers, right? Similarly, we can do equals to, say equal to give me even numbers. Okay, so this is how we can do this. Now let's solve the fifth question. Write a query to find all the employee name whose name begin with A, contain A, Y at the second place, L ends with a L and contain the four alphabets, and begin with a V and end with a A. Okay, so let's try to solve the first question. Write a query to find all the employee names whose find all the employee names whose name begin with a A. Okay, so again, this is little bit simple. Let us select. I want all the details of the employee, right? Where my employee name, right? It is starting with A. So here you can simply mention in the semicolon, or sorry, in inverted comma, that A percentage, right? Now this percentage will consider everything, right, after A, right? So it will give me the all the employees whose name is starting with a A. Okay. Okay, but I want A at a second place, right? Okay, so if I want A at a second place, so here I will use this particular thing. Okay, and A. So it will give any name in the first place and then A in the second place, like this. Okay, right? So these are the two names. Here we can say that uh, there is it contains A, right, at a second place in their employee names. Okay. The second problem is contains Y alphabet at a second last place. Right. So how we can solve that? Select star from the employee, where we'll say like employee name like what? Percentage. I want Y at a second last place, right? So I will say y and then this, right? Underscore I'm considering in the last place, and I want y at a second last place. Hence, I am considering the underscores after that. Okay, and then run this. Okay, so there is any name, right? Which are basically at a second, who has a y right at a second last uh place, right? We see the table, right? And here we can see that there is no any y, there is no any employee who where in that in the second last place there is y. Oh, right? But yes, there are some names where t in the second last place. Okay, so let's consider instead of y, we will consider t here. It is giving or not. And yes, these are some names where there are t in the second last place. So it is Ekadanta and Lalita, right? T in the second last place. Now, yeah, third question. End with the L contains four alphabet. Okay, we want the employees who are end with a L and where employee name like and who has specifically four, right? So here we can do the three underscore, right? Before before what? Before L. Okay, let's execute this. Again, there is no any employee, right? Who is ending with a L and has the four uh, alphabets only, right? Again, we'll try to run this, right? No any employee. Okay. Also, there is no any employee who's has only four letters in that, right? There is Arjun, Lalita is there, but no employee who has the specifically four letter. We'll consider four letter. Let's consider five letters, and whose name is ending with the N, right? And then we can say that there is Arjun, right? Who has the total five letters and whose name is ends with the N. Okay. Now the last is begin with a V and ends with a A. Okay. So yeah, let's see this. Select star from the employee where employee name like what? It is begin with a V and ends with a A. Ends with a A. Right? Now this will give me the employee which is begin with a V and end with a A. Let's execute this. And yes, there is Vishaka, right? Who begin with a V and ends with a A. Okay. So this is how we can solve such type of the question in the SQL, right? We have seen some five questions, right? The remaining questions, because the video will get little bit long, we will try to solve the remaining questions in the next one more video. Okay, again there are some five questions are remaining, so we will try to solve this in the later video. Okay, so hope you like this particular video. Okay, and if you still not subscribe this channel, so please try subscribe this channel and do like to this particular video. Thank you so much.